In this tutorial, we want to look at what is the difference between when you go to objects and then you go to pattern, object to pattern, and you put a pattern on an object. And also if you don't do that, but rather you go to path and then you choose path effects and then you come and choose pattern along path. What is the difference? So let's look at it. We are going to look at it in Inkscape 1.0 or yes, in Inkscape 1.0. So the thing I would do is this. Let's draw something that we want to put a pattern on. So we draw something like this oval shape here. We go to path and then we change it to object to path, because what we want to do is related to path. Let's select it and make a duplicate out of it, and then so that we will be doing it on using both techniques. Now we have to create some pattern. So let's pick our rectangle tool and create just this pattern. Let's give the pattern a color, this color, and change the stroke. Maybe go to shift and we change the stroke to yellow, for example. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to do this form. So let's select this pattern here. I will do a duplicate of the pattern. That should say you can do a duplicate by going to edit and duplicate. So we have also a duplicate for this. Now this, for us to do this, we have to go to convert this to a pattern, and then we use this as a pattern to decorate this oval shape here or ellipse here. So we go and we go to object, pattern, object to pattern. Now this thing is changed into a pattern. We can see that if we go to object, fill, and stroke, when this menu pops up, it generated the pattern. It puts it in a list here. I have some patterns here, so I don't know which name it gave to this particular one, but I suppose it's the first one, this last one. But we'll see. If we select it and it's not, we just go through and we know our pattern, so we'll know what to choose. Now we select the object that we want to put the pattern on, and then we go here. This is not our pattern because this was already in our pattern. Is this, I think. So you see, it's put our pattern in very nicely. Now let's look at another way which gives a different effect, because that's what somebody asked me, what's the difference between this and then if you do it in another way, what comes out of it. So let's see here. And with this, we select our object, the pattern, because we want to use the path effects. We select the pattern and then we need to copy this pattern into a clipboard. So just do copy so that it's stored somewhere in our clipboard, in our computer somewhere. And then we now go to path, and then we go to path effects. When you go there, you select the object that you want to put the effects on, and then you see this plus sign here. Press it and then go to pattern along path. So you press that, so it's waiting. Now go here. Since we have it on the clipboard, choose link to path in clipboard. That is, we are linking our pattern which is in the clipboard now to this path that we've selected. So just press it and you get something like this. It looks weird, but why? Because the pattern copies, we just chose single stretched copies is what is the default. But there are options you can choose. You can choose repeated. If you choose repeated, you see it repeats it. If you want it repeated stretch so that it covers everything, you saw the repeated. Let's go back here again. You see the repeated, there was some gap here, but if you want it to cover everything, you choose repeated stretched. You can also adapt the width of whatever you have here by either increasing or decreasing the width of the pattern that you already have. You can leave it as it's almost is. And then also the spacing, there's zero spacing. If you increase the spacing, you see that we are getting spaces in between. Now if you also come here, you can use the edit path by notes tool, you can manipulate the things here. If you can see closely, we have these things. That if you press it, you are going to see some notes here, and you can work with them to adjust your object. Now there are two notes here. There is this one, maybe I make it a bit bigger for you to see. Yes, and then let's go again. You see there are two notes here. If you press this one, if you put the note tool in here, you can drag this segment, or you can do things with it. You can, so if you look, you can adjust it, you can play around with it. Okay, now if you don't want that, so let's bring it back to its original state. Now you can also go here, and this helps you to zoom in and out of it, to adjust it more or less. So you can do things with what you've created. There's another note thing here that you can also press. It's as many, there are 3. You can also find one here. You can adjust. You can also adjust the handle of the nodes to do things as you wish. Now the same thing applies here, not that only this can be adjusted. If here also, if you click it, you see these holes here, and you can adjust it as you wish. You can do whatever you want with it. Now that you observe, one thing you can observe is that here with this option, the pattern comes into the fill, where the fill is, and more here the pattern concentrated on the stroke more or less. It's the outer parts of it. So more or less that is the difference. So that you have in mind which pattern you want to use for your work. Thank you for watching. Please help me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Bye.